All right, well, it's Saturday and it's time for some projects. Yesterday I took all the aluminum, the leftover aluminum from the jet skis to the recyclers. Got some money. We went out last night, spent it, of course. We went downtown Dallas, which is pretty good ways from here. Had a real fancy dinner, stayed out with some friends, did some went to some clubs, did some dancing, all that kind of good stuff. So get a little bit of a late start, so we're out late. I slept in, and I'm kind of lazy this morning. So I got two projects I want to try to complete this weekend, and I need to kind of do them fast because if you notice, I've got jet skis in the driveway, and my homeowners association does not like having this many vehicles, especially two that are not registered. They have a real big thing about that. So I also have that trailer and this trailer sold that I need to deliver on Monday. So what I need to do is I need to build two cradles today, and I'm just going to build two basic little cradles for these two jet skis to get them in the garage and where I can work on them. That way I'm not rushed with having to strip them down to get rid of these trailers. So I've got some leftover 2x4s over there. I'm going to go buy a couple more, and then if you guys remember when I had the boat in here last winter, I had the cradles up underneath it. That boat out there, and those things have casters on the bottom of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get those. I have them in a storage unit across town where all my extra garbage is, and I'm going to take those and build them on the cradles so they can roll around. And I'm just going to build two simple ones that out of wood, nail them together. I'll videotape it so you guys can see it, so that way I can roll them around and get rid of these trailers. Then last year when I built this fence, I didn't leave a gate big enough, and because this one right here is probably going to be with me till spring. It's completed and done, but being it's winter time, no one's really going to buy it right now, and I don't want to sell it for nothing, so I'm going to hold on to it. So what I was going to do is, you see my gate right here? I actually got two galvanized steel poles right here. I'm going to go up to Lowe's or Home Depot, and I'm going to look at a galvanized pole that is slightly smaller than the other galvanized pole right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them off about 2 to 3 inches from the ground, nice and level. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide a sleeve into that other galvanized that's in the ground, and then either weld or bolt it up. And then what I'm going to do then is that this will slide on top of those, and then they will bolt on those sleeves. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this sucker in the backyard, cover it up with a tarp. I know, pretty redneck, isn't it? But there's nothing in our homeowners restrictions that says we can't throw that in the backyard as long as it can't be seen from the street. My fence is high enough it cannot be seen from the street. So I'm going to roll that sucker in the backyard, and that way if I get some in here that I need to hide quickly, I can just pull that portion of the fence down, open the gate, slide it in there, shut it, and be done. And that way I don't have to worry about it sitting back here. Plus, it makes it real difficult to roll anything in and out of the garage because that's where they sit. So plus, I've got some plans to do a little bit of upgrading to the boat this winter, so I want to have some room in here. And what I'm going to do to get these Polarises off the trailer, because these things are really heavy. If you look right there, you see that snatch strap, or actually it's a ratchet strap. I saw a Polaris sling that actually you use to pull these things up off the trailers that you can hook onto a hoist. Well, those things are like $150, $170, and they're not available local. I have to order it, and I don't like buying stuff on the internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go buy another one of those for 25 bucks, take that one off, and I'm going to rig up a strap that I can actually hoist with my engine hoist from the ceiling, or use my cherry picker right there. So that way I can pick them off and put them on my little wooden dollies that I'm going to make. So those are my projects for this weekend. We'll see how far I get with them. All right, well, it's Sunday morning, and I didn't get a whole lot done yesterday. We had friends come over for dinner, so I had to be home at 4:30, and it took me a while to come up with a plan for the fence. And if you see right there, this is basically a electrical conduit pole that's 2 inches, and the pieces or the poles that actually hold up the fence are 2 3/8. So with that wall thickness, it fits perfectly inside. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a minute. So needless to say, I didn't get much done yesterday, and so this morning I woke up and decided to try my little idea about getting the jet ski off of the trailer. And to be honest with you, I forgot to videotape it, and it probably wouldn't have been a good idea because it was so dangerous, or scary I should say. But what I did is I used these tie-down straps, which have a perfect little hook what I saw as far as the jet ski slings that you use from Overton's. And then what I did is I used my half-ton hoist with a bolt up through the ceiling. And I tell you, it did a good job. This one's full of gas, and so it wanted to lean forward whenever you were lifting it up. But what I did is I took the boat holders that I used last year, and I just took the V out of the middle of it, and I just sat this one down on top of it. So it sits pretty nicely, works good. I probably should have put some carpet underneath it, but I was just seeing if this will work first of all, and actually it's perfect. Keeps it nice and low to the ground. I can roll it around. And I already spent the money on them, so I just repurposed them. So, but the one thing I noticed is, you can see there's two little indentions right here. These little metal things make indentions on these rub rails. So what I'm going to do on the other one, the one I'm going to keep when I pull it off of there, is I'm going to actually put some towels in between it. And I also found the longer you leave these straps up off the seat, the better the angle is for lifting up. That way it's not creating such a tension on the hull. So actually I'm going to link them even more for the next lift, because that helped not leave such a mark wherever the holders were. So anyway, that's a little tip right there. Worked nicely, held it. Now that's that eyelet actually is about 10 inches long, and it goes into a big 2x12 up there in the ceiling. It's probably not the best thing in the world. I wouldn't recommend it, and it definitely was a little scary, like my palm print up there. But anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is we need to get this double trailer out of here, so that way I can get that double in here and lift that other one off and remake that one shorter. See that that's with the bolt cradle in the back of my truck. This one's only about 4 foot long, and that one's close to 8 foot long, so I need to shorten it down because I really don't need that much length. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to get this trailer out of here, see if I can get the fence project done, so that way I can get that sucker in the backyard and get it out of my way. Okay, so there's the fence section that I just took out. All I did was just unbolt it from the back. You can see those things go around the fence posts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these basically right about here, straight across. At least I'm going to try to cut them straight. The Sawzall is kind of difficult. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and that means that these are going to be, completely separate. And then we'll slide those other ones down in there, and then figure out exactly how, really don't have a complete plan yet, but I'm sure it'll work itself out. Okay, so we run into a little snafu, but I think I probably got it figured out. Here's the post that I cut off, and actually its wall thickness is a little thicker than the stuff I found at Home Depot yesterday when I was measuring this one right here. This is the electrical conduit. It's 2 inches in diameter, and this is 2 3/8. But apparently the one that I slid it into at the other place had a smaller wall. Now, it still fits, but it is very, very tight. I actually just measured from there to the top and got 61 inches, and I've already driven it in about 2 inches. And I'm going to use a piece of wood and a hammer, and I'm going to slowly hammer this in the ground to go into the sleeve of the other one as far as it'll go, probably 2 feet. So that way I have a good foundation. Then I'm going to cut it off about this high up off the ground, and that provides me my sleeve for this one to slip into. Then I'm going to take my angle grinder and just sand this down just a teeny bit. So therefore it is just a slightly smaller diameter, and it isn't so tight but getting on the when you put the fence section on. So I've got a little flappy disc that goes on my 4-inch angle grinder and just go around it pretty good until it slides on there pretty easy. Then I'm going to drill a hole through both the sleeve and the other one on top, so that way I can bolt it down and keep it nice and secure. Well, this was a complete and epic failure. I was lucky to get the fence back the way it was. The sleeve that goes down in there actually was just way too big, and as we were pounding it in, it was actually pushing the other piece of the galvanized down through the concrete, so it was driving it deeper in the ground, and it just wasn't going to benefit it well. So I just said, you know what, nothing gained, nothing lost, just put it back the way it was. So I got the sleeve in there, got it bolted up, and it's back the way it was and back in the line. So you know what, that was a great idea, but the thing is they just don't make a pipe that actually slips in there nice and neat. So you know what, it wasn't meant to be.